What's good, y'all? L Famous, living my life, not thinking about it twice. Don't be scared to like, subscribe, or share this dope content if you like it. Let's get it. Yeah, let's get it. Now this joint right here is a dope hood joint. You heard about the Blue Top Posse? Yeah, man. When nigga was young, nigga was down with the Blue Top Posse. You heard? You know what I'm saying? And the Blue Top Posse, it started with a few of us. You heard? In particular, it started with me, my man God, which was going back then by Chain Dog, you heard, you know what I'm saying? This dude named Al Jada, you heard? My little man Reese, God bless the dead Reese, you heard? And a few other cats, you heard? My man Schoolie D was down with us, you know what I'm saying? And my man Shaba. Yeah, my man Shaba was down with us, you heard? You know what I'm saying? And when we first started, we started like every young nigga. We was all 13, 14 years old, running around, you know what I'm saying, in the hood with stun guns, knives, razors, you heard? Niggas had access to get a gun, but we wasn't running around with a gun at this time. We was just running around with razors, knives, stun guns, shit like that, you know what I'm saying? But we had access to go get a gun if we needed one, you know what I'm saying? But this was the era when we was running around jumping crackheads, you know what I'm saying? Calling up the Chinese delivery niggas, you know what I'm saying? Ordering up like $60 worth of $50 worth of food, tell them niggas to bring change for 100, you know what I'm saying? Take the food, take the little change that they bring, you know what I'm saying? We used to do shit like that, you know what I'm saying? Just bugging out, you know what I'm saying? Wilding, you know what I'm saying? Doing crazy shit, you know what I'm saying? So boom, one day, it was New Year's, I think it was 90 or New Year's of 90, you heard 1990, that was a good year, you know what I'm saying? And I remember us running into one of the older cats from our neighborhood, you know what I'm saying? And this older cat in particular, I had 2 fights with this older cat growing up. I had a fight with him when I was like 8 years old, and I had a fight with him when I was like 4 years old or 5 years old, you know what I'm saying? And now we older, now a nigga like 14 years old, you know what I'm saying? You heard? And this nigga like probably like 16, 17 years old. And he running it, but he's into more shit than we into, you know what I'm saying? He into selling drugs, getting money, you know what I'm saying? Busting his gun, you know what I'm saying? All that, you know what I'm saying? So boom. So it's 3 of us, we run into him. He talking to 2 of my mans. He really ain't talking to me because, you know, the block that I was from, he ain't rock with niggas from my block, you know what I'm saying? And niggas from my block ain't rock with him, you know what I'm saying? So he was talking to me, but he really wasn't talking to me. He was talking to my other 2 mans, but it just so happens I'm with them. You heard? We crew, you know what I'm saying? So he like, yeah, B, yo, I need y'all. We gonna lock down this building right here. You know, my cousin went to jail, so we gonna lock this building down right here. You know what I'm saying? I need y'all to come around the mall, and you know what I'm saying, and we gonna get this shit rocking. You heard? So my two mans was like, all right, you know what I'm saying? All right, we gonna be around the mall. Boom, 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 boom. Now, there's another thing why he wasn't talking to me, because at this time, I wasn't really selling drugs and working for people. You understand what I'm saying? I was a hustler, you know what I'm saying? I sold t-shirts, I grew up scalping tickets, so I always grew up hustling, you know what I'm saying? Making money. I always was a young nigga buying my own shit, getting my own stuff and all that, you know what I'm saying? So I wasn't that thirsty as a young nigga to work for a nigga selling drugs, and I wasn't thirsty to get into drugs because I seen some of my family members on drugs, so that kept me away from drugs for a while, you know what I'm saying, until I got older, you know what I'm saying, until I started getting a little older, and I started realizing that I needed to sell drugs to survive, you know, or to fit the things that I wanted to do out here. You understand what I'm saying? Because I turned into a party animal, you know what I'm saying? Being in the spots, you know what I'm saying? Being around nothing but drug dealers, killers, robbers, the gangsters, and I gravitated towards that scene. So basically, I had to get me some money. You know what I'm saying? I had to get some money. So I couldn't just be selective on how I get money once I got a certain age, because I wanted certain things, you know what I'm saying? And scalping tickets and selling t-shirts wasn't going to get me there. You know what I'm saying? It might have got me there in the long run, but it wasn't going to get me there in the short term. You know what I'm saying? So, boom. I was hesitant with selling drugs with them niggas. They was over there, my mans and them. I used to be over there every day with them, in the building with them, selling the drugs, looking out for them, holding them niggas down and all that. But I wasn't getting paid, and I wasn't doing it for money. I was doing it because niggas is my mans, and I hang with niggas anyway. So boom, I'm over there. So boom, make a long story short, my man Colin got down with niggas. You know what I'm saying? My man Colin was from Jamaica, official cat. You know what I'm saying? His mother brought him out the house. You know what I'm saying? You had Colin and Michael. You know what I'm saying? I knew them from when we used to live on 167 Grant. You know what I'm saying? You heard? Back in the days, I remember when they first came from Jamaica. They had on. They was running around barefooted in the out there in the front of the building and all that. You heard? With tank tops on and all that. You heard? Looking crazy. You know what I'm saying? So now we a little older now, and we living in another neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? And Colin them niggas is official. Nigga Colin them niggas playing with guns. They selling drugs. Niggas driving cars. Niggas doing them young. You know what I'm saying? Niggas is only 16, 17, and niggas already got a Honda Accord. My man getting money out the spot. My man busts his gun. My man and them was wearing Chuck jewelry, because they was wearing their mom's jewelry since they was like 13, 14. And they moms had Chuck jewelry. You know how the Jamaicans do. You know what I'm saying? They mother was official. Rest in peace to Patsy, you heard? Rest in peace to Patsy, you heard? You know what I'm saying? She knew me since a kid, nigga. A kid. You know what I'm saying? I knew Colin and them niggas since I was like 5 years old, you know what I'm saying? Before I moved to the hood that I grew up in, you know what I'm saying? So boom. So that was the connection between me and Colin and Michael, his brother. And Colin was a boss, you know what I'm saying? Him and another nigga was a boss. So boom, we down there, blue top posse, you know what I'm saying? Now, next thing you know, we deep. It's about 15 of us, you heard? Deep. We got two of everything. We got two of everything. When I talk about hammers, I'm talking about we got two of everything. Niggas had two techs, two Macs, two shotguns, two 380s, two Trey 8s. I'm telling you, niggas had two of everything, B. You understand what I'm saying? Niggas had all kind of shit. You know what I'm saying? You heard? And I remember we was the youngest niggas in the hood that was doing what we was doing. We was moving around like we was old niggas, but we was the youngest niggas in the hood. Cause right around the corner, you had Kurt and Stan and them niggas. God bless the dead, my man Kurt that got killed over the spot. You know what I'm saying? You heard? And around the other corner from us, you had the Barner Place niggas, the Spanish niggas. That was no joke. The older Spanish niggas. You heard? You heard? That was no joke. And them niggas had came around to us one time. We was booming. We had the shit jumping, you know what I'm saying? Niggas had the spot jumping. I'm talking about we had 2 for 5s and nickels. You know what I'm saying? They had the 031, you heard? 2 for 5s, and we had some nickels, you heard? The work was outstanding, you heard? When I'm saying outstanding, I'm talking about people was coming all night. You know what I'm saying? All night, you know what I'm saying? And when I did start working, because eventually I started working, I worked a week for my man Colin, because my man Colin had went to Jamaica, and he ain't trust nobody but me. He said, yo, lad, I need you to hold me down. He knew I ain't sell drugs. He knew I scalp tickets. I sell t-shirts. I had a Gucci link on. I had jewelry just like them niggas had, and I was younger than them niggas. You understand what I'm saying? So he's like, yo, lad, he ain't had nobody to trust. He said, yo, hold me down. I said, all right, I'll hold him down, because I was living in the spot. You know, I had ran away from home for like a couple of weeks because my grandmother had went in the hospital, so I had ran away. So I was living in the spot, you know what I'm saying, because I couldn't do what I wanted to, I couldn't do what I was doing when my grandmother was home, because my aunt wasn't letting me do it. So I had ran away while my grandmother was in the hospital, and I was living in the spot. So it just so happened, Colin went to Jamaica one week, and he was like, yo, hold me down, lad. Killed him for Colin, you heard? Came back, Colin had a big bag, you heard? You know what I'm saying? He loved me, you know what I'm saying? Then that's why I told you after that, a whole beef started with my block. You know what I'm saying? Because niggas on my block was hating that I used to be on across the concourse with niggas that didn't fuck with them. You know what I'm saying? And them niggas across the concourse didn't fuck with niggas on my block, and my block didn't fuck with them niggas across the concourse. You heard? You know what I'm saying? But it wasn't no beef with everybody. You know what I'm saying? It was only certain niggas that Nick Collin them niggas didn't like from my block. You know what I'm saying? And because they didn't have beef with everybody from my block. You know what I'm saying? So boom. Some shit jumped off. I told you the big shootout. I told that on the St. Laz platform, the big shootout on the concourse. That was an official story. That's all official facts. You know what I'm saying? We went up there, busting at them niggas. Shit started over me. Niggas told me a nigga was gonna rob me. You heard, in the street. That's how niggas was hating on me so much. Older nigga was like 17, 18. He telling me I'm only like 15 or 14 at the time. He telling me that a nigga gonna rob me, and he supposed to be from my block. You heard? You know what I'm saying? He telling me a nigga from off my block gonna rob me. He tried to say that, he said that shit in front of Colin and them. My man Colin snapped on that nigga like, nigga, ain't nobody robbing Larry, nigga. Nobody, nigga. You heard? They didn't know that I was wearing Colin chain at that time, and Colin had my big Gucci link on at that time. Yeah, nigga. Had the big Gucci link, nigga. Had that twice, nigga. You know what I'm saying? You heard? So boom. Big shootout. That happened. You know what I'm saying? And then that kind of like broke niggas up because my man Colin got locked up that night. You know what I'm saying? He at that shootout. You know what I'm saying? That was like the last night of that crew of me with that crew with my man Colin and them. You heard? Because ever since Colin got locked up that night, he never was able to that crew was never really able to regroup. You know what I'm saying? Even after he came home, he wasn't the same. Me and his relationship was the same. Me and him was tight still, but he wasn't. He was a little different. You know what I'm saying? My man Colin was a little different. You know what I'm saying? And he wound up getting deported. Him and his brother Michael wound up getting deported. Those was my niggas, you know what I'm saying? Them niggas was fly little niggas, Jamaican niggas. They mother was in the game. They mother Patsy, God bless the dead, kept them fresh as a daisy. When I say fresh as a daisy, they was wearing all that fly shit when we was young. And they was wearing Chuck jewelry to school. Chuck jewelry to 8th grade and 7th grade and all that, nigga. You heard? Them niggas, my man Michael and them niggas was selling weed and all that, and they wasn't even in 8th grade, nigga. You heard? My man Colin was running around with the hammer on him, you know what I'm saying, around all the gangster niggas from 167 Grant and all, because his mother had the store on 167 Grant. So all the niggas, niggas that grew up on, that's a whole nother story. You know what I'm saying? But I wasn't part of that story when they was on 6th Ave because I already had moved in the neighborhood over here. And we moved in the same neighborhood, but they was going back to 6th Ave at this time. And then they left 6th Ave because it got hot for them. Niggas was busting their guns, selling drugs, had warrants, all kinds of shit. So they had to get off 6th Ave and they came downtown back in our hood. And that's when we started the Blue Top Posse. You know what I'm saying? But it started with my man Quayne, God, and my man Shaba, you heard? And me, Al Jada, Schoolie D, Donnell, few of us, you know what I'm saying? And we started it on Sherman, Sheridan, and Carroll Place. We used to run up around all of that, you know what I'm saying? By 90 junior high, by 90 public school, you heard? And we moved down the block towards 6th 3rd, and we started the Blue Top Posse with two older niggas from our hood, Colin and Fatboy. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, B. You know what I'm saying? And it was dope for a minute, like I told you. Nobody wanted it with us. We used to be beating niggas up, beating niggas in garbage cans. Niggas never came back. If we got into when niggas started getting in the shootouts, niggas got into the big shootouts with my block twice. They had 2 shootouts with my block twice. The second shootout was the big one. My block was busting crazy at niggas. You heard? Lucky that nobody got hit. You know what I'm saying? Niggas was busting a shotgun, a Mac, and some other shit. You heard? You know what I'm saying? And niggas from Colin and that niggas was busting a Tech 45, a 380, a 22, and some other shit. I think like a 38 and a baby 380. Like niggas had like 6 guns, and my block had about 4 guns, but my block had big guns, and they had the advantage because they had niggas busting from the courtyard and they had niggas busting from the roof. And I was in the park with my man Colin and them when they went back to my block, because this was the beef that the nigga from my block, older nigga from my block, pulled me in. He said he started the beef by saying that's why niggas gonna rob you when they see you. You heard? And he said it happily. He said it happily, like, yeah, and that's why niggas gonna rob you when they see you. He said the nigga name and all that. You know what I'm saying? So before I got a chance to say anything, Colin was like, ain't nobody robbing Larry. And the nigga ran off like a bitch. You know what I'm saying? And he left the niggas that he was walking through with, because they even stopped and they was looking like, because they didn't run off. My man Black and Aaron, they ain't run off. You know what I'm saying? This nigga ran off. You know what I'm saying? And he left them niggas looking stupid, because they looked at each other like, what the fuck just happened with this nigga? You heard? But that ain't stopped niggas from coming back. Niggas tried to come back. Niggas called me in the street. Niggas, that nigga Aaron, nigga almost tried to lay me down, B. You know what I'm saying? Nigga that supposed to be my god brother. You know what I'm saying? So this is how much niggas had hate for me on my block, because I'm hanging with the other side niggas, but they don't know that my blue top posse niggas, these niggas keeping it more realer than niggas that I grew up with. You heard? You know what I'm saying? Niggas is on my block, niggas will let a nigga come on a block from Girard or from 65th and front on a nigga on my block. That's how I was growing up on my block. What you think? Why you think I had to go across the concourse and I started hanging on Webb, going to the west side and going uptown and going everywhere else in the world except for being on the block? You know what I'm saying? My block only got cool to hang out with after the generation after me, because the niggas after me, them niggas changed it up. Them niggas was more tighter. They wasn't letting you come and do nothing to them niggas like that without them trying to do something to you. You heard? And I give them that. You know what I'm saying? But just like every hood, my block fucked up too. So, you know, I had, you know, the war started with, the gun violence shit started with me on my block, because niggas said they was gonna rob me, and my man Connor had so much love for me, like a little brother, and he told niggas, he jumped in that shit head first, and then after he jumped in it, he the nigga that told niggas, everybody grab a gun, and when I didn't grab a gun, you heard, one of the niggas that I was with that was grabbing a gun said, yo, lad, you ain't grabbing a gun, you heard? And I said, what the fuck I look like grabbing a gun for niggas on my block? You heard? And Colin said, this ain't about Larry. This is about them niggas. This ain't about Larry. So that's when I knew. And I was 3 years younger than Colin. Colin could have easily rolled with what everybody else was saying or what other nigga was saying. Colin was like, nigga, this shit ain't about Larry, nigga. This shit is about them niggas, B. Everybody get a gun. Everybody. And everybody grabbed a gun, you heard? That's how my man Colin was on it. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I tell his story, because he official. And I hope he's still out there in Jamaica, him and my man Michael. Them was some of my best friends growing up. You know what I'm saying? Even though I ain't see them in over 25 years, they still my best friend. You heard? Because the way that they pumped with me, you heard? The way that they went out for me, you know what I'm saying? When niggas was sonning young niggas and had niggas carrying guns and doing shit, niggas never did that to me, you know what I'm saying? My man Colin always let me be me, you heard? I wasn't over there being Doja, being somebody that I wasn't, you heard? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Rocking with my niggas, you heard? And that's why all of my niggas that I'm talking about, all of us are still friends today. You know what I'm saying? Except for Colin and Michael, because they deported to Jamaica. They got deported to Jamaica over 20 years ago. You heard? You know what I'm saying? But yeah, B, that was just the first introduction of the Blue Top Posse. And you know what I'm saying? Like I told you, my man Colin came home. Before he got deported, he came home. He wasn't the same. The crew wasn't the same. Everybody couldn't come together like that, like we was when we first was together. Because when we was the Blue Top Posse, I'm telling y'all, we had two of anything. You couldn't come around near and do nothing to nobody. You couldn't say nothing to nobody. My man Colin, like, go get the guns. Go get the gun. Quick. For everybody. I remember this nigga Matthew, you know what I'm saying, from my hood, from Matthew, from 65th and Walton. You know what I'm saying? He was a tough and rough nigga, came home, DFY nigga, Rikers Island nigga, and he had that jailhouse mentality, and he came around us, you heard, me and Colin and us, and he started playing dice with Colin, and he was trying that jailhouse shit, like, yo, and trying to cheat Colin in certain roles and all that. I remember Colin sending for the gun and all that. You heard? Nigga, Colin was going to shoot the nigga. And me and my son God, you know what I'm saying, kind of like stopped the nigga because we had an affiliation with Matt at that time. But Matt was older than us and realer than us at the time. But we knew Matt was bugging by barking up this wrong tree with my man Colin, you heard? Because my man Colin was the protector of all of us. Like, we all bust our gun. We all was on our own time. But back in those days, in the crew, a real crew, the leader always stepped up. You heard? That's one thing about back in the days and crews and gangs and all. Niggas always stepped up. It's not like about now. Niggas be pushing the weakest nigga out there to try to do shit. Nah, it wasn't like that growing up. Niggas step up. You heard? Before the weak nigga might even get a chance to say anything, the real nigga might be protecting niggas. You heard? So that's how I learned my game of being a real nigga, is being a protector and not being less of a bully. You know what I'm saying? Because when you a bully, you know what I'm saying, you might bully a lot of niggas, you might get away with a lot of shit, but when your ass get bullied or get stunned, your ass, you know what I'm saying, it set you straight, you heard? You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of niggas got set straight out there, you know what I'm saying? So we went from the Blue Top Posse, and then we moved up the block, and then that's where Shyy was created, you heard? And Shyy was created by my man God and them. God, Fatboy, Shorts, DeVal, my man Fio, my man Stretch, and the OG Have, you heard? From Queensbridge, you heard? Shakim, you heard? And that's where Shyy came. And when Shyy was created, I was in jail. So when I came out of jail, I came right over to rock with my man God, one of my best friends, and I got introduced to Shyy. Half of the niggas I already knew. I knew everybody that was down, but now we in a new location, you know what I'm saying? And niggas is on different type of time. Because when I left, niggas wasn't robbing niggas. When I came back, they was robbing. Everybody was on some robbery shit. Because I was one of the first niggas to break off from the Blue Top Posse, and I started robbing niggas. You know what I'm saying? I went uptown, 240 Lewis Morris, you heard? Hanging uptown, doing me, going crazy, making a name for myself. You know what I'm saying? Niggas already knew what time it is with me. Niggas was calling me Crazy Larry uptown, you heard? You know what I'm saying? Tab days, Walton days, you heard? You know what I'm saying? Shit was crazy, you heard?